Infinity mode is such a grind. So I have some exciting news. Apart from me graduating in May, getting my bachelor's in computer engineering, I actually just accepted an internship this summer. I'll be going down to Florida and doing a software engineering job at a startup company. So I'm really excited for that. It's going to be great going to Florida, getting some industry experience. It's going to be really fun. And then I actually come back to college in the fall to start my master's degree. I'll be making another video about that, so be sure to subscribe. But they kind of just told me kind of basics. I'll just be doing some programming and kind of helping them develop their system a little bit more. But I don't really know in depth as to what my projects are going to be. So what I realized is that when I go down there, I need a PC. I'm going to need a PC that can be able to tackle any projects that I throw at it. So that's going to be what this video is. I'm going to be building a budget software engineering PC, and I actually also wanted it to be pretty portable, something that's nice and kind of compact that I can just throw in my car and bring down there. So yeah, let's see what we can come up with today. So I think we should probably start off with the processor, because when it comes to programming, the processor is probably the most important part. I'm actually going to be doing, this is my first build with Ryzen, but I'm using the Ryzen 5 3600 Non-X. I actually got this in a trade, so I got it for free. I just traded some old parts that I wasn't using anymore and got this. So that's going to be great. And then I also got this on a discount. I got this ASRock Pro B450 motherboard. Get it in frame here. The Pro 4. I've actually seen this motherboard around. It's actually pretty popular, and it was on a discount at Newegg. I got this for like $75 or something, so it was a great deal. I'll be unboxing it later to kind of show you some of the feature sets on it. So yeah, it's a very good board, and it's micro ATX, so it's nice and small. We can put it into a compact case and carry it around with us. So that's good. Kind of checks all the boxes, but when I unbox it, I'll kind of be going into more details as to some of the cool features on this board. The 3600 that I got in the trade, it just came in the sleeve. It didn't actually come with a cooler. So the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo should be more than sufficient at cooling this. I mean, it's a locked processor, so it should be. Is it locked? Maybe. It might not be. I'm not sure. But this should be more than sufficient at cooling it. I just had this. I got this, I think, for $20 on Facebook Marketplace. It's a classic budget cooler. So, in terms of RAM, I didn't really want to buy new DDR4, so I'm going to be going with 32 gigs of this Corsair DDR4 stuff. It's black on the package, but it's white. I don't know if you can see that. I got this in a trade. I actually got a really good deal on it. $40, $40 for 32 gigs is pretty sweet. But realistically, though, if you wanted to replicate this build, you can get 32 gigs of RAM on Newegg for about $100. If you get RAM that's on promo, you won't get really nice like 3200 Corsair stuff like this, but you can get some DDR4 for pretty affordable, around $100. So that's what I'm going to be going with. 32 gigs should be enough for any kind of programming that I do. I'm not sure. We might get into a little bit of like deep learning and neural networks. I'm not really sure what my job's going to be, but no matter what, this should be more than suitable for that. This next component isn't really so much for my internship, because it's more of software based, but while I'm down in Florida, I do plan to do some vlogs and shoot some videos. So in order to have some video editing capability, I do need a graphics card, and I'm going with this RX 580. At the time of this video, graphics card prices are coming down, but GPUs are still a little bit sparse. And this is just what I had. I actually own this and didn't have to buy anything, so it's good, and it can drive, all the displays that I need it to. I believe this is the 4 gig variant, but it should be fine for doing some simple videos. So between the 3600, Ryzen 5 3600, and a 580, I think we should be in good shape. Yeah, it's really not too much else to talk about here. It's going to be a pretty good GPU for what I'm doing. You got only 8-pin power, so it doesn't need a really beefy power supply. So yeah, not much to say. I should probably also make note that I'll be using Ubuntu Linux for my programming, and AMD cards typically do perform a little bit better with Linux because of the nature of having open source drivers and more custom drivers available. So that is nice, but again, it just kind of comes down to the fact that this is a card that I happen to own that was, decently powerful, and I didn't have to go buy a new one for an inflated price or anything like that. In terms of storage, I have a 256 gig Samsung 850 EVO. It kind of just goes with the theme of it's something that I had, so I didn't have to buy something else. I might upgrade to an M.2 in the future, but realistically, I think this is going to be more than fine. It's going to hold an OS and some programs, and I don't foresee that being a problem. So, 850 EVO. In terms of power supply, I went with the EVGA 600 watt. It's 80 plus, not bronze, just 80 plus certified. 600 watts should be for a 3600 and a 580. This should be more than plenty. So I think this is going to be great. I got this for I think 20 bucks on Facebook Marketplace. It is non-modular, which is kind of a shame, but I mean, hey, at this price point, it's going to be more than fine. So I can't complain. I really, in terms of a power supply, I don't think it really gets any more basic and straightforward as this. So I'm happy with it. In terms of the case, I think we're going to keep this also pretty basic. I'm going with this ES Gaming white case. It probably has a name, but for all our intents and purposes, it's just the ES Gaming case. Pretty generic, pretty basic. But what I love about this case so much is that it's it's a micro ATX case, so it's very compact. You might be able to, it's kind of hard to pick up on camera, but it is very, very carryable. And, I'll be staying in a small apartment, so this is going to not take up too much space, which is awesome. It comes with, we have 3 fans in the front and 1 in the back. And I believe I picked this up for $40 on Newegg. And then in the front, we actually have a lot of room for airflow. You see, this whole thing is a mesh. You see up here in the front, this whole front area is just a mesh. So we actually have plenty of airflow. So for a budget and a value-oriented case, I think this is fantastic. So I think I'm very excited to put our machine in here. So that's basically all the parts I chose for our budget software engineering PC. And I think now is the time to do the montage of me putting it together. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the build.
In the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through?
And we have a post screen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna tweak some settings in here, and let's see if we can get this thing set up. This is a good sign. And we are in Linux. Got our 32 gigs of RAM and our Ryzen 3 detected. It's detecting our GPU. I think we're good to go. And so there you have it. That is a $700 budget engineering PC for doing some software engineering. I'm very happy with how this turned out. I thought y'all might want a few benchmarks, so I did a couple things to kind of test and see what the PC is capable of. So I did a compile time for the Linux kernel that ended up taking just under 5 minutes, and then I also did a 10-minute video with a few effects in it. 10 minutes at 1080p took it about 3 minutes to render completely. And that's using Shotcut, the open source video editing program that I use. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with how this came out. So we can program and edit videos, and it's going to be a great PC for getting some work done for my internship this summer. So yeah, y'all let me know what you think. If you like the video, please leave a like. Be sure to subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you next time.